Replicade sent in its Champion Edition Street Fighter II cabinet.
It's this big.
A hot take. It's this big. Is that all we have to say about the
It's small,
Replicade?
right? It's actually not as big as I thought it would be, but
It's tiny.
We have seen something like this before. We had a Centipede machine sent in to us, and it was the exact same size.
Yeah.
And Centipede was really cool. Actually, just for an update on it, there was a mistake with the Centipede machine where the trackball was constantly on and it never turned off, so it drained batteries. But we've had this one unplugged for a couple days, and we can confirm it still works even when it's unplugged.
It still works.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about this funky machine. I'm a huge fan of Street Fighter 2,
Yes, you
especially Champion Edition. So when we got this into the office, I was quite eager to try it out. It is a 12-inch play scale, is what they're calling it. It's not an exact replica. If any of you can, check this out, there's a controller that seems a bit too big, so it's not an exact replica, of course, of the original machine, but there's more to that as well. There's a 3.5-inch flat LCD screen in here, and it's a horizontal orientation, so it's not your typical 4x3 sort of.
Unfortunately, but yeah.
So that comes into the visuals of the game itself. Built-in rechargeable battery, up to 90 minutes of gameplay, stereo audio, and then there are micro switches for the buttons and for the joystick.
I want you to hear what this joystick sounds like. Okay, that's quality. And here's the buttons. We actually have micro switch buttons and joysticks on a tiny little device like this, and Neo Geo couldn't do it.
Yep.
Right?
So it seems like the folks at Replicade really do care about the sort of titles that they're making into this mini arcade cabinet form.
Yeah.
It screams quality to me. The problem is...
It's just small.
Yeah, okay. So let's review this thing proper.
Yeah, okay. I think everyone that has played Street Fighter in arcades knows that you need 6 buttons and you need a joystick. So we have 6 buttons and a joystick, but you don't have enough room on this front piece here for 2 players. So if you go to the back,
in the butt.
Yeah, right in the back.
It's in the butt.
It's a controller that's separate.
Yes.
And it's exactly what's on here. But it you can connect it on the back there with a USB. So it's USB to USB on the back, and then you've got yourself a Player 2 controller. So what happens is one player is using this and looking right at the screen, and the other player is awkwardly sitting some far off way to the side trying to play second player that way. Though you could plug in another controller, and then that player can use this one as the first player, and you could do that, by the way, without having to use this. So suddenly, you're using this controller, they're using that controller, you're looking at this tiny screen off into this.
This sounds like there's a lot of caveats to actually playing this thing well. Oh, look, here's some shots of us playing.
Yeah.
Isn't this great? Both of us staring at this 3.5-inch LCD screen. Okay, so here's the thing. Like we mentioned before, this product is extremely well made, and the micro switches are nice, and the bat top joysticks feel awesome, and you can hear the micro switches right now.
Yes, yeah.
Like, everything is great about this.
Yes.
Except the form factor is not it's not
conducive to gameplay.
Perfectly spoken.
That's really what it is.
It's not conducive to gameplay. In my mind, this is more like a piece of art. And in fact, on the website for the for this cabinet, they basically call it arcade art.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's fine. I think that's really what this is for, is to put on someone's shelf, to have there, and it's interactive. It's usable. I've always seen there's this one company a long time ago. They used to make little miniature arcades, and then you'd get to put them on your countertop or whatever. Yeah. But the problem was they didn't actually work, so they just were unfunctional little boxes. But this actually works. The video quality, look, it's not exactly like the original, but it's really, really good. Yep. We did see one visual glitch while we were playing, but I mean, beyond that, it seems to be fairly stable and very accurate to the original
We put a
game.
reasonable amount of time into this, and we just saw one little glitch, and I think we were kind of moving the unit around. To be fair, it wasn't perfectly stable on top of a tabletop or something at that point.
But I mean, the graphics look fantastic. They look like the original. So like we said, there's Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition on here, but you also have the second one.
It's Super Street Fighter, I believe, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Yeah, so you get to choose from the options menu. All you have to do is push. There's a little coin return button. One coin return button actually puts coins into the machine, like virtual coins, and the other coin button allows you to access a bunch of settings and options. And there's a lot in there, right?
Yeah.
We last time looked at the Street Fighter 2 arcade 1-up system.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that.
Yeah.
So, whereas, yeah, I may be a bit of a downer so far on this cabinet because it doesn't, the form factor isn't conducive to the way that you play the game. There's plenty of options in this little device.
Yep.
Like, they really do want this to be like something that you hold and you play and you kind of dabble with, because there's dip switches. There's dip switch like difficulty settings for at least Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. I don't think it's for the other game, which is a little bizarre. But yeah, you can choose between the configuration of what player you're going to play as with the one joystick within the cabinet itself. You can be the first or second player. There's a bunch of things you can toggle. There's a light-up marquee on this thing.
Yes, and actually, speaking about light-up stuff, this is a very bright system. The front pieces are bright, but also the little box in the back of the console where you actually put the controller, that also lights up.
It's called the butt.
The butt,
It's the butt of the arcade
It lights up, so it lights up the controller, so it looks really cool with a transparent like door. I mean, it's hilarious, but this is seriously what they did. If this doesn't scream showmanship, trying to make this look like a really cool device, that's what it is. But even though the game, I think, plays really fast and really well. It
plays pretty well. We didn't notice any sort of any issues with the bottlenecking of the inputs.
Yeah, we know our moves on Street Fighter, Adam more so than I. But yeah, we were capable of putting in our moves pretty easily.
Here's the thing, though, where almost every time I try to do my quarter circle punch or back quarter circle kick, I can get it 95% of the time. I'm not a pro by any means, but here it was like 2 out of 3 times I would successfully, and it's just down to the form factor. The micro switches make things super accurate, but you're not used to holding this dumb thing. I tried to hold it like a D-pad kind of with a thumb, and that didn't work out. And then I tried to do like a little tweezer pincer move.
Yeah. See the quarter circle movement on the joystick, on a regular joystick, would require a lot more movement, but with this, it's a lot tinier. So a little tiny movement is a lot. So
you can feel the micro switches like coming a lot.
Yes,
you're hitting what you're supposed to be hitting within the with the circumference of the control stick.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't feel natural.
Yeah, see, for me, I think there's going to be a lot of Street Fighter fans that are going to like this, and they're going to want to have this as a collectible item, and I think that's really the only audience that should be looking at this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when it comes to what this is, I personally think, while this is really cool, they should have made this a little bit thicker, a little bit wider, and a little bit stubbier, and then made it this basically portable arcade system that had both arcade. Like, even this just doubled up on the side, then suddenly you've got something with a much bigger screen.
Okay, can you imagine us right next to each other playing one? No, maybe I don't know if that would work out.
Like it's such a weird idea, right? There's everything about this. There is so many details, like an actual metal little door here for the coins.
And this, speaking of coins, this comes with fake tokens.
Little fake tokens. You can't actually use them, but you can put them in there. Like we said, all the light-up marquee. It's got a volume dial on the back. The sound is really good and clear.
It's stereo sound. Arcade 1-Up didn't have stereo sound in their original Street Fighter 2 cabs.
Honestly, folks, it's built-in rechargeable battery. It charges up through USB. This is really cool. But I think if it was just a little bit bigger and it allowed for two people to play easily on the screen, I think it would have been a little bit of an easier choice or an obvious recommendation for people.
Here's the thing: they put so much thought into so many aspects of this. The sort of the settings and the stereo, and it's like a wooden mini cab, and you can tell they love this thing. Have some sort of a video out.
That's exactly.
Have a video out.
That's it.
So that, like, okay, maybe we still have to use the dumb little controls that I don't really love, even though they're quality. But yes, let us plug this into a TV. There's so many other, let's say, like lesser producers of consoles that have video out on crappy devices, like at-game devices have video out. There's no way you can't have that implemented into this thing.
Yeah, I mean, an HDMI out so we could actually broadcast this on the TV. Yep. Like, seriously, this is the kind of stuff where you look at this like a portable console that you could plug up to a TV. It suddenly adds a lot more value to it.
It becomes more like in some sense, is a better version of the Neo Geo mini cabs, because this has the clicky. Everyone wanted the clicky. Yeah. This has the clicky. Unfortunately, it only has 2 games in it.
Yep.
And unfortunately, when you have something that is very high quality, that has little micro switches inside of it, it has all these options and things, the price point is way up there, right? So, We don't have to say. I don't know. It could vary. I think right now it's going for about 120.
It is.
And like, okay, I like Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
I love Street Fighter, like the 2D Street Fighter games. What's perfect for me, and I'm sure what's perfect for the bulk of our audience out there, is the Street Fighter collection that was released just recently.
And I said, see that
You
right
can get
there.
it.
If I can get it on the Switch,
Yeah.
and even though it's more expensive to get a Switch in the game, if I get it on the Switch and I do that, I have access to the entire catalog. There is one cool thing about that controller, though, okay? So this is an independent USB controller. I plugged this up to my computer, and it was weird. I've got the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. I sat there, and I was playing it like this, and it worked. I mean, like, look, it's ridiculous, but you could use this controller in other places.
Yes.
And I know, at some point, and when we're talking like Evo, someone's gonna go out, they're gonna swing, they're gonna pull this thing out of their pocket, and they're gonna go, I'm gonna beat all of you.
Yeah.
And they're totally gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because look, even though we're not like huge fans of how this actually controls and everything, this is well built.
Yes, and I can see someone getting good with this.
Yes.
Like I said, it's built, it's functional, you're just not used to it, and it just feels bizarre. And then going from this back to a traditional arcade Street Fighter 2, or even like using a D-pad, there's always going to be some problems going back and forth between that. But if someone's obsessed with this controller, they could probably get really, really good at it.
Yeah, I know. It seems ridiculous, right, to have I hate saying this because this sounds like we're making it up. This is a legitimate 6-button arcade stick that fits in the palm of your hand, and it actually has clicky buttons and a clicky joystick. Yeah. How crazy is that? Crazy. This should be the thing they sell. Not this. They should be literally selling these around for just for portability.
I think $30 for this or something, because there are like quality sort of components.
They do sell this separately, by the way.
Oh,
they do on their website.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, everyone's focusing on the arcade. They're not focusing on this. For some reason, this company went and created something really cool, licensed by Capcom, by the way, if you can't see it. This is nuts. This is really insane. Yeah. This has got to be one of the coolest things, and I hate that I like this more than this.
Sure.
But like, I'm gonna go and play a couple of classic arcade games with this just because it's that kind of fun.
So to wrap things up, glowing review of the tiny micro Switch controller. This is more of an art piece.
It is.
It is functional, but it comes at a really steep cost. Yeah. And I just don't think there's enough bang for your buck there. But if they sold they do sell them. They do sell them separately. We don't know exactly what the price is right now. But
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Because seriously, do you know how much arcade sticks actually cost to get like a really good one that clicks? This is a really good one that clicks. And even if they're charging you $50, which I don't think they are, it's still worth what they're asking. This is really cool for collectors. This is really cool for people that want to play games.
This is really cool for Evo.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it. What do you guys think? Are you interested in this? You heard the price point. You heard about the components that are involved with this thing. Would you pick this up? You can put it in the butt.
Just kind of stick it in there and just kind of.
Oh my gosh! Oh, this is a podcast, by the way, Shane.
Well, it didn't work for me
I just
right
want to
now.
remind
you know what? It usually
this
fits in
probably
there.
isn't the greatest sounding podcast. Anyway, do you guys have any other ideas for other arcade machines that they should do? Are you interested in further products like this?
Let us know what you think.